Section 6 of Harper's Young People, Volume 1, Issue 4, November 25, 1879. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Harper's Young People, Volume 1, Issue 4, November 25, 1879. Our Post Office Box. Letter from a Little Girl about Harper's Young People. Newport, Rhode Island, November 6, 1879. Mr. Editor, I don't know who to put at the head of this letter because I don't know your first name. I wonder if it is Uncle John. Papa found me reading what he called a trash paper the other day, and he said he would take a good paper for me if I would not read any more of that kind of trash. And he said you was going to print a nice paper for young folks, and this morning he brought one home, the very first number. But he said he was disappointed in the size of it, and that it was not quite half so big as an ordinary paper at 4 cents, and I am afraid that he will not take it for me. But Mamma says if I wrote to you, perhaps you could give me some good reason for the paper being smaller than Papa expected, so that he will keep his promise, for I like the paper very much, and I have read about the brave Swiss boy, and so has Father, and he says it is better than the kind of paper they throw in the door. To be continued. So please tell us why your paper is not as big as the trash papers, as Father calls them, and I will be very thankful. Lizzie, M.D. There are several reasons why Harper's Young People is not as large as the journals which you call trash papers. In the first place, Harper's Young People is very carefully printed on extra fine paper, which make the type and illustrations look so clear and beautiful. And then a very large price is paid to the artists who draw the pictures, to the engravers who reproduce them on wood, and to the authors who contribute the reading matter, which you find so interesting. The picture of the tournament, for instance, on the first page of the preceding number, cost over $150 for drawing and engraving. Some of the pictures will cost even more than that. If Young People was a larger weekly paper and just as good in every respect as it is now, the price would necessarily be larger, and then some of our young readers might be deprived of the pleasure of having it. Harper's Young People comes out every Tuesday, and if you read all the stories, poems, etc., and make out the puzzles and enigmas, you will find that it will take all the time you ought to spare from study, play, and other callings. We mean to make the Young People the very best weekly for children in the world, so that they will always be glad to see it, as they would welcome a visit from a pleasant companion. The following letters have been received in reply to the question in the first number of Young People as to the originator of cheap postage. New York City. The founder of the system of prepaying postage by placing a small label on one corner of the letter was Sir Rowland Hill. It was first advocated by him in 1837, and stamps were first used by the British Post Office May 6, 1840. They were introduced in the United States in 1847. Sir Rowland was born in Kidderminster in 1795, and died at Hampstead, August 27, 1879, at the age of 84. Walter J. Lee. Brooklyn, New York. In answer to your question in the first number of Young People, asking if anyone knew the name of the man who first thought of cheap postage, I would say that it was Sir Rowland Hill of England. He died a few months ago at Hampstead near London, and was buried in Westminster Abbey. The answer to your letter puzzle in the same number is Longfellow. F. B. Hesse, 11 years old. Clara S. Gardner, St. Louis, Missouri, sends a similar reply. Correct answers to letter puzzle have also been received from Albert E. Seibert, New York City, and Annie B. Stevens, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Several correct answers to the mathematical puzzles have been sent in, and will be published as soon as other correspondents have had time to try their skill. Louis B. Parsons, Montclair, New Jersey. If you will put a very little oil of cloves, or still better a few drops of creosote, into your ink, it will not trouble you by molding. You should also keep it cork tight when not in use. End of section 6.